Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting into the loud and messy world of the orcs.
Ah, the greenskins. Always a fun topic.
So everyone knows they're this war-obsessed alien race. They actually find, like, genuine happiness in violence. It's their whole thing.
Which is weirdly fascinating. Probably one of the happiest species in the galaxy because their purpose is so clear.
Well,
Fight.
exactly. But, okay, if that's the baseline for all orcs,
Why?
what makes one particular group stand out as, the most brutal, the top tier of violence?
Yeah.
And that brings us to our subject today. The Goff clan of orcs. These guys are often called the paragons of all things orky. They're really what pops into your head when you think orc. Big, mean, green.
And that's a great starting point. Orcs, they're divided up. You got mobs, then tribes, and then the big ones, the clans. Think of clans like cultures almost. Each one has its own way of waging war, its own specialization. And the Goffs, they take that core orc idea, war, violence, more war, and just crank it up to 11. They are the orkiest orcs, no question.
So to help you get a handle on these truly ferocious greenskins, we've looked at a few key sources. We've got insights from analyses like the Goff clan of orcs and the Goffs, Orkiest orcs, whoever orked. Basically giving you the quick version. All right, let's dig in. What makes a Goff a Goff? What sets them apart? It really starts with that aggression, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They are, hands down, the most aggressive, the most violent clan. Their whole existence is just constant warfare.
Seriously, like no downtime.
For a Goff, if you're not swinging a chopper or something, life's kind of pointless. That's the mindset. And their reputation, it's not exaggerated. The sources call them the most brutal, even sadistic. There's this great example.
Yeah.
If you're in a Goff camp, right?
Yeah.
And you look at a Goff the wrong way, or maybe more importantly, if they think you looked at them wrong.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh is right. They will attack you on sight. Doesn't matter if you're another orc.
Yeah.
It's his constant internal proving ground.
Wow, that's intense. It reminds me of that anecdote we found about their idea of fun.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Where they give, like, a captured human farmer an orc weapon, something huge you can barely lift, put him in this big campfire circle,
Right.
and just let him take the first swing while thousands of orcs just stand around laughing. That's entertainment for them.
It perfectly illustrates their mindset. It's brutal, it's cruel from a human perspective, but to them, it's just Tuesday. And it all feeds that identity. They are the big, green, scary orcs. That's not just flavor text, it's who they are. You hear about orcs doing funny stuff like racing scrap heaps or nicking things.
Yeah, the speed freaks, the death skulls.
Exactly. That's not the Goffs. Goffs are the ones you genuinely dread meeting. Pure, unadulterated smash.
And their look matches that, right? It's not just the attitude.
Oh, definitely. The descriptions are vivid. An ocean of muscular green bodies.
Waves of them.
Yeah, a stinking horde of dank, unwashed flesh clad in moldering leather and oiled metal. It's an intimidating sight. Very primal.
You wouldn't want that running towards you.
Not unless you had a very big gun. And their symbols and colors really hammer it home.
The black and white.
Mostly black. Their name, Goff, is supposedly even a bit of an orc joke on their main color, black.
Ah, okay.
Their secondary color is dark red. And for, well, honor, they often use that black and white checkerboard pattern. You see that, it's Goffs.
And the symbol itself, that bull's head?
Yeah, the glyph. A big horned bull's head, massive horns, tusks, usually stamped in black on metal or white on black armor, instantly recognizable.
I love that imperial scholar theory about it, that the Goffs feel a connection to bad-tempered, violent, and flatulent beasts.
Slight chuckle. Yeah, leave it to the Imperium to try and analyze orc humor. But it kind of sits, doesn't it? Bad-tempered and violent, definitely. But it all ties back to their core belief. Might is right. Simple as that.
But they don't debate it.
No debating. They prove it with their fists, or choppas. They genuinely believe it's their Gork-given right, Gork being the brutal orc god to boss around other orcs and show them how to fight properly.
Okay, so that leads us to the big question. How do they actually fight? What does a Goff wagee look like?
It looks like a tidal wave. They march en masse, just this overwhelming tide of black-clad bodies.
So it is a tactic, just sheer numbers.
Sometimes. Maybe. Often, according to the sources, it's less a coordinated tactic and more. Well, one Goff starts running towards a fight, others see him, assume there's good crumpin' over there, and follow. Suddenly you've got thousands heading the same way.
Accidental coordination through pure aggression.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And their preferred style is up close. Most Goffs want to fight on foot,
Why is that?
So they can get right up close to the enemy and experience every bone-crunching kill. They want that visceral feedback.
Makes sense for them. But they do use vehicles sometimes.
Oh yeah, they're not opposed to grabbing a truck or a battle wagon, especially if it means getting into the fight faster than another mob. It's all about getting to the action.
And weapons. Keeping it simple.
Very simple. A sharp chopper, the big cleaver-like weapon, and a loud slugga, which is basically a big, noisy handgun. That's the classic loadout.
And if those fail?
Fists, teeth, heads. They're famous for headbutting. That's why they love those spiked and horned helmets.
Ah, it's not just for looks.
Not at all. It leads into that rite of passage you mentioned.
The headbutting contests.
Exactly. Young orcs wanting to join a mob, slap on a horned helmet, and go at it with other hopefuls.
Sounds dangerous.
Casualties are, quote, unsurprisingly high. But from the Goff perspective, it ensures that the weak are weeded out early on. Only the toughest make the cut.
Brutal. And that feeds into their whole hierarchy, right? How they rank up.
Perfectly. It's simple. The more you fight, the bigger you physically get. It's an orc thing.
Right, the W energy.
Exactly. So bigger orc means he can boss around more smaller orcs. More orcs under him means more challengers try to take him down. If he beats them, he gets even bigger, even tougher.
A cycle of violence leading straight up the ladder.
Until eventually, he's big enough and mean enough to take on the current war boss. It's pure, violent meritocracy. So with all that focus on fighting and getting bigger, it's really no surprise that the Goffs produce some seriously scary orcs. And they have these elite units that really show it.
Like the Scar Boys.
Yeah, the Scar Boys. These are your veteran Goffs. The biggest, the meanest, always right at the front of any charge.
And the Scars are?
Badges of honor. Their bodies are covered in old wounds, maybe held together with metal staples or plates. It shows how tough they are, how many fights they've survived.
Yeah.
Status symbols, Goff style. Then you've got the Storm Boys. It's kind of funny. Goffs actually find their marching and boot polishing a bit weird. Anorky, they call it.
But they still have lots of them.
They do. Because despite the weirdness, Storm Boys are really eager to get into close combat. That resonates with the Goffs, even if those rocket packs they wear can be notoriously unreliable.
Exploding boots aren't ideal?
Not usually, no. And there's the famous Vulture Squad, led by Boss Zagstruck. He's known for, well, happily executing his own guys if they step out of line. Discipline, Goff style.
Charming. What about vehicles? You said they use them sometimes.
Right, the Blitz Boys. These are whole columns of trucks and battle wagons. Maybe not as lightning fast as the Evil Sun Speed Freaks, but they hit harder. Much harder.
What kind of wagons were we talking?
They love things like the Bone Breaker. It literally has giant spiked rollers on the front to just mulch everything. Or the Gut Ripper, which has these massive shears for, well, dismembering things. It's all very unsubtle and very effective.
And finally, the real elite.
The Goff Guard. These are the absolute toughest Goffs, handpicked for Gazkol's own forces. You have to be seriously hard to even be considered.
Like his bully boys.
Exactly. Gazol's bully boys are a huge mob of meganobs. Think orcs in the biggest, heaviest power armor imaginable. They were key in taking down Hive Tempestora, just wading through defenses.
Which brings us to the big guy himself, Gazkul Mag Uruk-Thraka. If we're talking Goffs, we have to talk about him.
Absolutely. He's arguably the most important orc in the setting, even though he's like 90% machine now.
He's been through a lot.
A lot. But he's terrifying. And what really sets him apart is that he actually uses tactics, like proper battle plans, which is rare for an almost unheard of. Orcs usually just charge. Gazkul has actually ordered retreats, and his orcs listened. That's incredible.
So where did this tactical genius come from? It wasn't exactly standard orc training.
Well, the sources point to something pretty specific. Brain damage. A fuckload of brain damage.
Very
apparently. Got hit square in the head with a bolt gun shell. Should have killed him instantly.
But it didn't?
Nope. Opposite effect. He just picked himself up, walked over to Mad Doc Grotznik, who is legendary for being maybe the craziest orc surgeon ever.
Okay.
And basically said, "Oi, Doc, got a bit of a headache."
Unbelievable. And Grotznik fixed him.
Fixed him orc style. Gave him new brain bits. And supposedly after that, Gazkul started hearing whispers from the orc gods, Gork and Mork, telling him how to win.
So divine intervention via head trauma and mad science.
Could be, or maybe just the brain damage unlocked something. Either way, it worked. He started winning big, developing this epic rivalry with Commissar Yarrick.
Famous imperial hero.
It's his arch nemesis. They have this weird mutual respect built on decades of trying to kill each other.
And Gaskul's impact is huge, right? Like the Armageddon Wars.
Massive.
Here.
His forces, mostly Goffs, were central to the Armageddon Wars, some of the biggest conflicts of the galaxy's recent history. Planets burned. He even smashed Hades' hive by just dropping asteroids on it.
That's some next-level
It
WAGH.
is. And since the Great Rift opened this giant warp storm tearing the galaxy apart, which the Orks call Gork's Grin, isn't it? Since then, the Goffs, inspired by Gazkul, have been on a rampage, warlords popping up everywhere. There are so many conflicting reports about where Gazkul even is. Octarius, Cantissa, Orks causing chaos for the Imperium trying to track him.
He's become almost mythical, and didn't he supposedly die recently? On Krongar?
Ah, yes. The reports of his death were slightly exaggerated. He fought Ragnar Blackmane, the Space Wolf chapter master. Epic duel. Both nearly died. Ragnar actually decapitated Gazkul.
Okay, that sounds pretty final.
For anyone else, yeah. But his most loyal knobs grabbed his head, fought the way back to Mad Dog Grotznick, fending off another orc trying to take over this Zog boss.
Always someone trying to take over.
Always. And Grotznick worked his magic again. Next thing you know, reports surface of this enormous, heavily mechanized Gazkul stalking Krongar again. Bigger and badder than ever. He just won't stay down.
That's terrifying persistence. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. You mentioned cunning, which isn't the first word you associate with Goffs. But there was that Thinkmas story.
Think this. Yes, a perfect example of Goff cunning. It started with this war boss, Boss Cronin. He felt, quote, the cunning rising. Saw his army like ingredients for a banquet of battle.
Very poetic for an orc.
Right. But he had rivals slowing him down. Boss Rotbagger from the Death Skulls, Red Wheel from the Evil Suns, Nostril Splitter from the Bad Moons. They were messing up his plans.
So he needed to consolidate power.
Exactly. So he calls for Thinkamus, a celebration of cunning. Thousands of orcs gather. Everyone has to sit quietly, unarmed.
Unarmed orcs sitting quietly. That sounds unlikely.
And they had to wear thinking grots, these little parasite things orcs sometimes use, supposedly to help them think better.
Okay, this is getting weird. What happened?
It was apparently an arduous, interminable period of unendurable tedium, which lasted, wait for it, hundreds of seconds.
Hundreds of seconds. The horror.
For orcs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, POP, the heads of the main lieutenants, the knobs belonging to Rotbagger, Red Wheel, and Nostril Splitter just exploded.
What?
The strain. Their thinking grots and their actual brains just burst from the pressure of trying so hard to think.
That is insane. And Cronin?
Cronin stands up, picks up his axe, and proceeds to personally kill the now leaderless Rotbagger and Red Wheel. Job done. Warband unified.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely a kind of cunning. Brutal efficiency masquerading as strategy.
That's the Goff way. Problem. Smash it. Need to unify. Smash the rivals. A new, stronger war was born. Maybe just a smidge more cunning. It's their version of house clanning. So when you pull it all together, you see the Goffs aren't just another flavor of orc. They are arguably the most important faction of orcs out there.
Because they represent the core.
Exactly. They're not the quirky ones, not the goofy orcs. They are the terrifying green tide, the hordes upon hordes of massive, muscle-bound freaks that show up, kill everything, then go somewhere else where there is possibly more things to kill.
Yeah.
They're pure expression of the wag.
Meanest, muscliest, greenest. That sums them up pretty well. They lead the charge and they just don't stop. That relentless focus is their strength.
It really is. Which leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? In this galaxy defined by war on an unimaginable scale, how does this simple, almost primal focus on just pure violence let the Goths be so incredibly successful? How do they stay such a fundamental threat, always pushing what an Ork-GH can achieve?
Yeah, it makes you think, what does it take for a whole society, a whole culture to function when its only real goal, its unifying purpose is just endless, joyful war? Maybe the Goths, in their brutal simplicity, give us the answer.